Hello, Lee Buckley.
Hi, I'm not due for another 20 minutes, am I? Or am I in now?
Okay, no worries. So, if you're ready, we can.
No, but it's not 8:30 yet.
No worries. So we'll wait for the next 10 minutes. Okay. Whenever you're
Okay.
ready, just ping me. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Take care. Bye.
All right, thank you. I had it all here. Okay. We go here. Then what's that? Video. Wait. Cancel that. Share screen.
Hello, Lee Buckley.
Hello. Oh, hello. Can you hear me all right? No.
Am I audible to you?
Sorry?
Am I audible to you? Yeah.
Yes, you are to me. You can hear me, all right?
Yes. Yes.
Great. Thank you.
Before we start, let me give a brief intro about Lee Buckley. He's a transformational life coach, author, and a speaker devoted to empowering women over 60 to approach their new chapter with confidence, clarity, and purpose. Her personal journey of healing from childhood trauma and embracing Christian faith at age 15 has deeply shaped her mission. During the COVID pandemic, she discovered the Dream Builder program, which aligns with her faith and enhances her coaching practice. Lee uses this program to help women design fulfilling retirement rooted in passion and purpose. Her work inspires others to create a life they truly love living. So that was really amazingly at the nobody has ever thought of the elder women, the passion and the purpose. But you have looking forward to listen your dream builder program in your talk. The stage
Thank
is
you.
all yours. Namaste.
Thank you. Okay, I'm just going to pull up my slides. So great to see everyone here. Welcome. Today I'm going to share principles and tools that I use to help navigate from the shadows of cancer to the radiance of hope. Along the journey, one of the changes I made was in my perspective of things. While I couldn't control everything that happened, I could control how I responded and what I did moving forward. And here's a story to illustrate. A farmer and his son had a beloved horse who helped the family earn a living. One day the horse ran away and their neighbours exclaimed, "Your horse has run away, what terrible luck!" The farmer replied, "Maybe so, maybe not." A couple of days later, the horse returned, leading some wild horses back to the farm with him. And the neighbour shouted, "Your horse has returned and brought other horses home with him? What great luck!" The farmer replied, "Maybe so, maybe not." Later that week, the farmer's son was trying to break in one of the new horses when she threw him to the ground and he broke his leg. The neighbours came to console the farmer. "Your son broke his leg? What terrible luck!" The farmer replied, Maybe so, maybe not. Days went by when soldiers from the National Guard marched through town, recruiting all the eligible young boys for the army. Due to his broken leg, they did not take the farmer's son. The neighbours gathered rejoicing. "Your boy is spared, what tremendous luck!" To which the farmer replied, "You guessed it. Maybe so, maybe not. We'll see." Can you tell when things happen whether something is good or bad? This story highlights the uncertainty of our circumstances and the fortunes or misfortunes which may come about. It emphasizes that there's no simple answer. It just depends. But by adopting a broader perspective, we can see beyond immediate situations and understand that outcomes just evolve over time. I'm excited to share with you tools I used during my cancer journey from the Dream Builder program, which is a reliable, repeatable system that's helped me and thousands of people worldwide turn uncertainty into opportunity, creating life that they love. Now, these tools can be utilized by anyone in any situation. And today you will be empowered with 3 principles to help you achieve your goals, greater clarity with your goals, and more confidence in your ability to achieve those goals and dreams. Are you ready? Great. I'm so glad you're here today. Now, having cancer was a steep learning curve, and I discovered that often our goals and dreams are born out of the pain we're currently experiencing or the challenges we're facing. And I love this quote from Reverend Michael Beckwith. It's so visual to me. We're often pushed by our pain until we are pulled by vision. So today, do you have a challenge that you're currently experiencing, an area that's causing pain? There are 2 signals for growth. Longing, which is our burning desire for something new, and discontent, which is the pain of the problem. And both of these are essential for us to create new results. And I'd love to share my story with you. Have you ever had a time where you hit a point and everything just came crashing down, when the fear of what's next was so intense and all you wanted to do was curl up in a ball, close your eyes, and just wish it would disappear? Well, that was my life when that type of pain pushed me to change. It all began in May 2015 with subtle whispers of change, a dwindling appetite, yet unexplained bloating, and a fatigue that lingered ominously. One night, I saw both my legs and feet had swollen to twice their size. The next day, we went to the hospital emergency department, and I was eventually admitted. During the following week of tests and waiting for results, I felt like, I felt like I'd been pushed off a cliff, and I was falling into the unknown, screaming in terror. It was like my life had stopped and I was in some sort of limbo, not knowing what was coming next. 5 days later, the diagnosis was confirmed on my 52nd birthday. Stage 4 ovarian cancer. This was a moment when life became full of uncertainty and it shook me to my core. Suddenly, I didn't feel safe. I didn't feel in control, and I certainly didn't feel like me. And as the weeks and months proceeded with chemo, surgery, and more chemo, the fear continued its relentless chatter in my head. Now, one day I felt so lost and confused, and as a woman of faith, I cried out to the Almighty, "Am I going to die?" And the answer came with immediate clarity and compassion. "No, this is something you are to go through, but I will be with you every step of the way." And this is when I realized I needed to take my life back from fear dragging me down. I knew I had cancer, but cancer didn't have to have me. Yes, I was still afraid, but I was not going to allow the fear to continue to drive this journey. Now, of course, the fear was still arguing why I should accept the diagnosis. It must be my time. Doctors know best. But there was another part of me that said, Lee, this is not the time to passively accept, as I so often did up until then, but to declare, I am going to fight this, and it won't be easy, but I'm not giving up. And it wasn't easy or pleasant, but I had hope. And if there's a window of possibility, even if I had to build that window, amazing things can occur on the other side of what's unpleasant. So I made a decision to let the part of me that wanted to live win over the part of me that was still very afraid. And amidst this challenge, there was a nudge to search for purpose beyond the pain. And it's here I found the seeds of growth planted in the soil of adversity. I discovered a program which gave me hope, faith, and a direction to follow called the Dream Builder program, as I mentioned earlier. And my life is no longer falling apart and feeling confused. I have the tools to draw upon, my direction, and I'm following my dreams for a life I would love living. So let me tell you what life looks like now. I got to see my bonus son meet and marry the love of his life. To see them enjoying their work in the adventure cruising industry. Sorry, I didn't realize this would get me a bit. These are happy tears, I promise you. Our kids do this great work in the world, and I'm so happy I got to see that. And now I get to watch the unfolding of their next chapter as parents, because early this year they gave us our first grandson. And isn't he gorgeous? I also get to enjoy the adventure of traveling around Australia and overseas with my husband and soulmate. And we love the sights and sounds and smells and tastes of uncharted destinations, and the ultimate joy of spending time with family who live overseas. And as for my health, I particularly love that I defied the odds, as the doctors were convinced the cancer would return in 2 years. And in October this year, I will have been in full remission for 10 years. And that's something to celebrate. Now, the fear, well, she remains a silent observer at times. On occasion, though, fear will jump up and down trying to get my attention, insisting that looking back, or at least staying put, is safer. I've found that fear is now part of life's journey. And I've learned to recognize when fear is valid or just blowing hot air. And my hope and faith enhance my awareness of the gifts of life I've been blessed with. And I believe I am more loved than I realized. I am courageous, and I'm stronger than I ever imagined. And I'm choosing to not let fear rule my health, my relationships, my life, or my dreams. And the best gift that I received from cancer was that life is worth living. So what dream is calling you? You are stronger than you think. So let's transform your longing and discontent into new results today. Now, the Dream Builder program has 10 principles, and I've promised to give you 3 of those today. Now, we have 4 domains of life: our health and well-being, love and relationships, vocation, time and money freedom. And the results you're getting in these areas of life are the perfect reflection of your awareness in each area. And here's the good news: no matter what your results or how big the challenge feels like, you have the power to create the exact results that you would love to have in your life. And let's start with the results formula to expand our awareness of the pattern which creates our results. Your thoughts cause feelings. Your thoughts cause your feelings. You know this. When you feel joyful, and you're happy, or you cry like me when I'm happy, and when you think scary thoughts, your heart beats faster. Your thoughts affect your physiology. Your feelings are expressed with your actions. And your actions contribute to your results. It's simple law of cause and effect. So your thoughts cause your feelings cause your actions cause your results. Yet most people don't get this. Most people look at their results and say they are their causes. But they are actually their B causes. And where the true cause of our results is actually right here. So if you want to know what you've been thinking, look at your results, because your results never lie. To create new results, we need to pay attention to our thoughts by noticing what we're noticing. So you notice where your feet are in your shoes, touching the ground. Notice that you can feel your body sitting in your seat. And you have the ability to notice these things. You can do the same thing with your thoughts, feelings, actions, results. So when you notice what you're thinking, you can notice what you're thinking about and how that's affecting your feeling. So let's apply this new awareness in your life, the results formula, and notice what you're noticing. So grab a pen and rate your fulfillment of each domain on a scale of 1 to 5. So take a moment to consider 1 being not fulfilled and 5 being completely fulfilled. So remember the 4 areas: health and well-being, love and relationships, vocation, time and money freedom. Now there's no judgment, just awareness of where you are right now. This is about noticing what you would love more of. And remember, disregard past results, because you have the power to create something new in your thoughts today. Which brings us to dream building principle number 1, designing your dream. When you want to build a house, you have a clear blueprint. And the same is true for your dream. When you have a clear blueprint, you can build your dream. And when your blueprint is not clear, it's very difficult to build your dream. So what do you want? What would you love? When I was lost in the whirlwind of a life-threatening diagnosis, facing what felt like a silent death sentence, I realized I had to anchor myself in something bigger than fear. I needed a vision, and I began imagining life beyond cancer, one filled with family milestones, travel adventures, joy-filled moments, and deep spiritual peace. And that dream became my blueprint. It gave me something to reach for, even when I didn't know how it was going to happen. And this quote from John Homer Miller speaks volumes to me on my perspective on the situation. Your living is determined not so much by what life brings to you, as by the attitude you bring to life, and not so much by what happens to you, as by the way your mind looks at what happens. There we go, trying to get the next slide. Determining what you would love requires a clear picture, and clarity is power. So think of times when you knew exactly what you wanted and opportunities seemed to appear out of the blue. While focusing on the area of life that you're least satisfied with, create a clear blueprint of what you would love. This will show you how important clarity is. So for a moment, let's just take a breath and close your eyes. And I want you to imagine it's 2028 and you've created a life you love, full of joy, health, success, meaning, purpose. Now don't worry about the how, it happened. Everything has worked out beautifully. So what are you doing? Who are you with? How does it feel? Take another breath. Now open your eyes and begin with a fresh page. At the top of the page, I want you to write, I'm so happy and grateful. Now that. Now, due to time restraints for today, I'll get you to complete this later, but begin with dot points written in the present tense. And then you can use all the descriptive words you can think of to fill out your dream and make it sing in that one area. Then at the bottom of the page, I want you to write this or something better still, because this means we're not putting limitations on our dream. And this simple step puts your dream into motion, because knowing what you'd love is the first step for living it. So don't forget to do this later. I love the image that this quote paints. It's so encouraging. Martin Luther King's mentor was Howard Thurman, and he said, don't ask yourself what the world needs. Ask yourself what makes you come alive, and then go do that. Because the world needs more people who come alive. Isn't that great? So dream building principle number 2, deciding for your dream. The decisions we make determine our results. And when we master the ability to make empowered decisions, even for more choices. Now, my gynaecologist told me, the cancer will be back in 2 years, but you responded so well to chemo, we'll know what to do when it returns. That statement stopped us in our tracks. And while we waited for the next appointment, I sat in a mess of tears, and my husband sat holding my hand in numb silence. Then the next appointment was with my chemotherapy professor. With the anxiety mounting, I mentioned the prognosis, and he said something which flipped everything on its head. He said, we don't really know. It could come back in 2 years, or 5, or 8, or 10, or never. Leaving that appointment with hope restored, I made a decision which I stand by today. If I believed and accepted the prognosis and spent the next 2 years worrying, pouring all my focus into fueling the fear of the cancer returning, then it would. I decided to focus on what I would love, with gratitude and joy for each new day, and to learn from the seeds of adversity to grow into a better me. In deciding for new results, you want to recognize where you are, what you would love, and finally, great dream building requires the ability to suspend the how. That's right. Decide first. The how comes later. I certainly didn't know how I was going to survive stage 4 cancer, but I began focusing what I could with what I had, living each day, being curious about possibilities and joy. And don't let uncertainty stop you. Choose to move forward anyway, no matter what. Finally, dream building principle number 3, befriending your fear. What does it mean to befriend your fear? It means you can feel fear without fear controlling you. Napoleon Hill, author of Think and Grow Rich, he says, the value of your decisions depends upon the courage you have to make them. With ovarian cancer, the fear has never fully disappeared, whispering the past is safer, the dream is too big, it's too much stress, your body can't take it. But I've learned that fear is part of the journey, not the enemy. Because it taught me how strong I really am. When you befriend fear, you take back your power and your dreams become possible. Saying yes to a dream will light you up. And almost instantly another voice will chime in saying, you don't have the time, you don't know what you're doing, that'll never happen. That is your paradigm. Old beliefs trying to keep you safe by keeping you stuck. So notice the part of you that says, yes, I love this. And notice the other voice whispering at first, who do you think you are? What if it doesn't work? That is fear talking. Because fear can be like an underage driver. It only gets to drive if you hand over the keys. Instead of letting fear drive, I put fear in the back seat where I can keep my eye on it, knowing that growth is near. And the truth is, falling down and getting back up are part of our growth. When you befriend your fear, you give yourself permission to fall forward. And that's how dreams are built. So ask yourself, how can you give yourself more power when you're ready to go for it? And the full process I teach in the Dream Builder program. But for today, here's one powerful step. When fear shows up, and I'll tell you it will, and you may start shrinking your vision and playing small, interrupt that thought. Then connect with your dream, refocus your mind and take one step. And say, not today, fear. This is your part, even if you're doing it afraid. You now have increased your awareness with the results formula and the notice what you're noticing tools. And you've dived into the 3 principles of mastering your results, designing your dream. You've begun to blueprint, and the clearer the blueprint, the more power. Deciding for your dream. You decide for the thing you want, and in the absence of knowing how, doing it anyway. And befriending your fear, how fear and failure are growth signals for greatness. Befriending fear and shifting your paradigms to achieve your dreams. You are worthy of the dream to have a life you love living. So let me ask you, do you feel like you've connected with any of these ideas and would love to make a difference in your life? I'd love to offer a complimentary 60-minute discovery session to help you get clear on where you are and where you'd love to be and best next steps. So if you scan the QR code, that will take you to my Calendly link. Complete the form, grab your spot, and we'll meet up. And I can't wait. And if you find that spots are taken, you're welcome to email me, and I'll pop my email in the chat when I finish the presentation, which is very soon. So I'd like to close with a powerful quote from William H. Murray. Now, he declined the first 2 invitations from Edmund Hillary to join his expedition team and attempt to summit Mount Everest. They failed, but learnt a lot from the first 2 expeditions. Murray finally committed to join them on the 3rd attempt to summit Everest, rather than letting his circumstances decide for him. He went, and they finally succeeded in summiting Everest. In his book, Evidence of Things Not Seen, William H. Murray wrote, Until one is committed, there is hesitancy and a chance to draw back, always ineffectiveness. At the moment one definitely commits oneself, that providence moves to, and all sorts of things occur to help one that would never otherwise have occurred. You've begun the process of dreaming your dream and writing it down and deciding. But one decision isn't enough. You get to choose it again and again, with fear, discomfort, and even failure. Because when you commit fully and befriend your fear, life rises up to meet you with people and opportunities and support you never saw coming. So if you're ready to commit and would love support in a journey with a coach to help you summit your Everest, book that session with me. So remember, as you go about your life, knowing that what is inside of you is far greater than any challenge you're facing. Because as Goethe says, whatever you can do or dream you can, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. It has been my privilege and honor to have spent this time with you today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lee Buckley. It was really spiritual and very deeply connected with your faith. We have n number of questions, but the time is
Okay,
really.
great.
I will send you. We will send you all the questions to your email. You can put your scanner or your, the program, Dream Builder program, any sort of scanner, so that people will love to join the program for their doubts to be cleared. So if you can
Sure.
send us, then it would be great to the concerned coordinator. This is Lee Buckley, who is a transformation coach and spirituality dream builder program for you guys. Please help yourself if you need a change or transformational change. Please uh, use the email retireinspired@gmail.com. And thank you so much for being on the stage, Lee. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Namaste.
very much.
Namaste. Bye.
It's been lovely. Thank you.